Hello, gamers. I'm Jonathan Sayer, a.k.a. Killer Vocalist, and with me is Jeff, a.k.a. Standard J.
Well, hello.
My oldest son, Logan, a.k.a. I'm Over This.
¿Qué pasó?
And our Mexican friend, DAVEYTHEVATO.
How you doing, folks?
That's the best American accent I've ever heard.
Let's dive Let's dive into the gaming world and everything related to it, especially a game called Zelda. Today on the Generation AFK podcast. Alexa knows what's up.
Did you hear Davey's like, I want an Alexa?
Hey, everyone out there, thank you so much for coming back and listening to the Generation AFK podcast, where we talk about all things video game related from, well, I guess you'd say an elderly gentleman's point of view, I guess you say. You know,
live from the nursing home.
I don't know. What does this button do?
Why are you moving in circles? What's a cast pod?
Every time I press it, my bed goes up and down. That's the wrong button, Bob. It's the wrong button.
Why does the heart monitor keep turning off?
I pressed this and I pissed myself. Anyway, thank you so much for coming back. Listen, what are we playing? What are we gaming? What are we doing today, folks? Because it's another week, and we're talking about things that we're doing right now. We want you to be playing at home. So, Jeff, what are you playing right now?
Oh, a bunch of everything. But I'll tell you what I got my eye on is this Dragon's Dogma 2. It's looking pretty cool, man. I mean, other than having to buy the fast travel, which I think is dumb. But, you know, the character creator is really, really cool. You can really make something really awesome for that. And the game is kind of like a lot of the games I like Odyssey. You know, it's big open world, and it's got, you know, talents and classes and all that stuff. So I might check that out. I'm debating if I should wait for a sale, because I don't want to like buy it for the full price and then be very upset that I paid the full price for it if I don't like it.
Yeah, especially if it's garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all the new games anymore, man. They're so hit or miss, you know? So I don't know. That's what I'm looking at.
All right. What about you, Davey? What are you looking forward to?
Looking forward. There's a game called Taxi Simulator.
Yes. The Taxi Simulator.
Are you going to explain the story then, so listeners understand what this is?
Here's the thing, right? Right now, I'm working as an Uber driver. So these guys want me to play a game as an Uber driver. So you want me to go out and work all day and then come home and work at home? No, I refuse.
I almost drowned in my whiskey a second ago. The second he said that, I inhaled. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm gonna share a screen here real quick, and I want to elaborate on why.
Because it looks like Davey.
It does.
When Jeff sent it over, he's like, I knew it. He started his own video game.
I mean, it does look like me. Damn.
It does. It does.
I mean, except he looks happy.
Wait, can I get the horn? John, can I get the horn?
Hold on.
Wait, can I get the horn?
Except he looks happy. Oh my God. Oh.
That's me in real life, dude.
Yeah, you got to zoom in there. There it is. Keep going. And listen, again, everything that we are playing, you can watch on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're liking, subscribing.
He missed the pickup on the cover. Look, she's like, "Hey, guy, over here." He's like, "Hey, I'm not paying attention. I'll just keep driving." Whee!
And so it's literally just a taxi simulator?
Yeah.
That is
Dude,
amazing.
I watched some gameplay of that thing, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's me."
Davey.
Yeah. I'll probably play with you guys just to make fun of it.
Yeah, I'm getting it for sure. Oh, yeah. All right, Logan, what about you? What are you excited about coming up?
The skin flute.
What? Whoa, what?
And now Spotify just banned us. Listen to us nowhere.
I'm actually looking forward to playing the trombone champ, dude. Like, it actually seems like a pretty rad game where you learn to, master.
Are you really
trombone.
gonna go for it?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Do you have to get like a controller? Do you have to get? Let me look this up. Hold on. This is a real thing.
Is there
I
a
thought you were
separate
joking.
thing to play
it's
the thing? Or?
It's a legit game.
Oh my
It's
god,
amazing.
it really is.
But what do you... Okay.
Wait. Let me show you.
I'm going to use my vernacular as discreetly as I can. How do you play the game? Do you have something for your mouth to blow into?
Do you see this? They're playing Linkin Park Hybrid Theory on the trombone.
That's what
Shut up.
dude.
Shut up.
Serious, look.
Is there?
Wow.
Does it have a playthrough on that? Because I'd be all into that.
I could play a video, but you won't get the sound.
Yeah, man, we don't want to get flagged for that either. So don't worry about that. So
Okay, Logan, that's interesting.
So trombone. What's the game called again?
Trombone champ.
Trombone.
There's something for everybody.
Okay.
Totally.
All right.
I mean,
Well, listen, that is all well and good, but today we are talking about Zelda and everything related to Zelda. This is like Davey's cup of tea, if you will.
My favorite game ever, dude.
Yes. So The Legend of Zelda was inspired by Shigeru Miyamoto's childhood explorations in the hillside forests and caves surrounding his home in Sonobe, Japan. He ventured into forests with secluded lakes, caves, and rural villages where he discovered a cave entrance in the middle of the woods. After some hesitation, he apprehensively entered the cave and explored its depths with a lantern. Miyamoto created the Zelda games with the aim of bringing to life a miniature garden, that's quote, end quote, for players to play with each game. So that's how this game came to be. This dude was out here hanging out in Japan and going into village or like just caves and stuff, and was like, you know what, this would make a cool game. And that's pretty cool. That's what it came to. So Takashi Tezuka, a senior officer in Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development Division and an executive officer, developed the story and setting. Seeking to create a fairy tale adventure game, Tezuka drew inspiration from fantasy books such as J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. So the location named Death Mountain was initially a working title for the Legend of the Triforce, written with inspiration from the battles of medieval Europe. So yeah, it actually was not called like The Legend of Zelda to begin with. So it was like the Legend of the Triforce is what it was. And then Death Mountain, and they had so many working titles and stuff like that. So Davey, you're a big fan. Did you know about that stuff?
Well, that's the beauty about this thing, that today I know I'm going to learn new stuff that I don't know about my favorite game. So I'm so excited about this one.
I'm excited for you to learn about this stuff because I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you going to explain at some point in the notes what the Triforce is, or should Davey explain?
I think Davey should explain what the Triforce is.
I got you. I mean, actually, if you want me to, I got some really interesting facts after you're done.
And I think you should kind of do it now. Let us know what the Triforce is. Yeah, jump in.
Look at his mug.
And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, you can see Davey drinking from his Triforce mug, I guess is what that is.
This is the
Hyrule Shield.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll learn about all these as we go through this because I'm learning as you are learning out there. Okay, you guys.
All right. So let's go back a little bit into the origins of the Legend of Zelda. All right. So like you were saying, John, It was released in 1986 for Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, in Japan. And it was created by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, like you said. And funny fact is that the title origin, the name of Zelda, comes from the wife of American novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald. His wife was called, or named, Zelda Fitzgerald. So basically, Miyamoto chose the name because he thought it sounded pleasant and significant. So Zelda comes from that guy's wife.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny?
Absolutely.
Did you know Robin Williams' daughter's name is Zelda after the game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing because I was actually going to say that. I was going to talk about.
Oh, man.
No, it's fine. Like I love that everybody has this information about this game because it was an integral game for when we were coming up and we were playing. Like Zelda was the game.
We should also note that was the first cartridge that was gold, remember?
It was gold. Yeah, it was gold. And you thought you had something when you got that thing.
Oh my God.
You were like, oh, it's gold.
Take it to the pawn shop. You're like, really? You're only going to give me $20 for this? It's real gold.
That's when reality set in. But as a kid, having that was the thing. Yeah. So now the Master Sword, also known as the Blade of Evil's Bane, or the Sword of Resurrection, or the Sword that Seals the Darkness, and the Sacred Sword, was introduced as Excalibur in the French version of A Link to the Past. Celtic mythology was also allegedly responsible for the name of Link's horse, Epona, based on the Celtic goddess of fertility, but her actual name was Brigid, which didn't really make a lot of sense. I didn't know where that was.
Did you say her actual name was Bridget?
Brigid. Or Brigid.
Oh, okay.
Brigid. Brigid. Brigid? I don't know. It could be Brigid. Brigid. I don't know. I have no idea.
Brigida.
It's Brigitte Nielsen. So Miyamoto named the Princess Zelda after, again, like Davey said, American novelist, socialite, and painter Zelda Fitzgerald, as he thought the name sounded, like he said, quote, pleasant and significant. That's right. Miyamoto would... Go ahead, buddy.
So no, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to go to the next fact, but here's the thing I didn't know. The name of the protagonist of the game is called Link, right? Not Zelda. People confuse all the time when they say, oh, the game Zelda, they thought the guy's name was Zelda.
Right.
But Zelda is actually the princess.
Right.
The main character's name is Link. And it was named so because he serves as the link between the player and the game's fantasy world.
There you go. Yeah,
that's why it's called Link.
That's right.
You ain't getting that in Trombone Champ, are you,
Listen, I've played every Zelda game, all right?
Okay.
So now Miyamoto was inspired by Peter Pan and Tinker Bell when creating the characters of Link and the Fairy. The combat system of Ocarina of Time was based on a style of Japanese sword fighting films called Chanbara, or samurai fighting. That's when that whole game came in or whatever. They had an entire films, not series, but like at the point in time, but like we had spaghetti westerns and they had the Chanbara, which were samurai movies with samurai fighting and stuff. And we had the spaghetti westerns with the at the same time. You know what I mean? That's what they did. Yeah. So The Legend of Zelda, the first game of the Epic series, was released in Japan on February 21st of 1986 on the Famicom Disk System, an auxiliary hardware device for Nintendo's family computer home video game console. It uses great word. I can't even say it. Say it again.
Proprietary.
My brain's not.
Proprietary.
Yes, floppy disks called disk cards for cheaper data storage, and it adds a new high fidelity sound channel to support disk system games. We did not talk about this console when we did our consoles. This is something totally different that was only Japan based.
That's crazy.
Okay. A cartridge version for the Nintendo the NES was released in the US on August 22nd of 1987, and in Europe on November 27th of 1987. The game features a second quest with different dungeons and item placement and more difficult enemies. So 87, that's crazy to think about.
It is.
Because Logan, how old are you?
Old enough. 28.
I just want to make sure proprietary. I just want to make sure I got that.
Job. Good
You
job.
got it right.
I don't know. That word
right.
for some reason was like, nope, not going to happen. So you were born in 95.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zelda came out, what, 8 years before you were born?
Yeah.
That is insane to think about.
And it wasn't it
you
one of
were
the
10 years
first
old.
titles on NES?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was one of like the first titles, maybe like the 20th or 30th, maybe, right?
So do me a favor, Jeff, if you can pull up the
look that up.
the Famicom disk system. So it was they literally had this was an addition to their console system at the time.
Oh
We're
my
talking
God.
early 80s. And this game came out on that in Japan. And it's literally what we would consider like we talked about in the consoles, like well, if you pull it up here, yeah, there you go. So it plugged in, and it just was a separate entity to your gaming system. And it honestly looks like a card dealer thing.
What
from
is that?
That's the system.
You're right. It does take the floppy disk.
There it is. It's an old school 3.5 floppy, goes in there, and that's an extenuation of your gaming system right there. Yeah, it's wild, right?
I didn't know that existed.
Never,
I didn't either.
Never did I have an idea that, let alone that Zelda started there. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Listen,
that's
Japan gets some crazy ass shit. All right, let's just say that first and foremost.
well.
They get some stuff that the West never even sees.
But
that's
they
true.
jump on it faster than we do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're leaps and bounds ahead of what we are when it comes to technology and everything else. Like we're like second wind to that shit. You know?
Yeah.
So now the second game, Zelda 2: The Adventure of
Link.
There it is, was released for the Famicom Disk System in Japan on January 14th of 1987. 87.
Wow.
That's insane. I had no idea that this thing went back that far. And for the NES system in Europe in November, in North America in December of 1988. The game exchanged.
So
Go ahead.
they both released the same year?
Which
Did you
one?
say the first one was 87 too?
So 87
86.
was Japan, and then in
Okay.
Europe, in North America, was in 88 in December.
88.
Yeah.
Okay.
The game exchanged the top-down perspective for side-scrolling and introduced RPG elements such as experience points not used previously or thereafter in the series. The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2 were released in gold-colored cartridges instead of the console's regular gray cartridges. Both were re-released in the final years of the NES system with gray cartridges. The gold one, we loved that. Like you just mentioned, like having that, you felt like you were somebody.
It was special, dude.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was special.
It felt special. It was gold.
Okay, Davey, do you have any of those?
I have both of them, not here, but somewhere in a box in my parents' house.
But you have them though. You do have
Yeah,
them. Okay.
yeah, of course. Both of them.
That's
Guess
amazing.
how much a rare first print of the gold cartridge for NES goes
Ooh.
for on eBay?
Over
$10,000.
1,000.
No, it's not that much.
$5.99.
400
bucks.
Okay, that's still good. That's still good.
Sealed cartridge?
Yeah, and this is a first print.
Wow, dude. Look at that.
That's awesome.
It's in pretty good shape, except for the screen there. But
So if you guys out there happen to have any of those cartridges laying around,
You gonna make some money, honey.
mean some money.
Yeah.
Seriously, especially
I'm
if you're
sure
not
people
playing
have
them.
them in their attics or basements and boxes
Oh, I'm
and stuff.
sure.
You know.
I know I
There's
have
so many
mine.
people who have so much stuff right now when it comes to video games that are just like it's ridiculous, dude. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I think I have at my mom's house in a bin somewhere. I think I have 2 original NESs and a Genesis with the disc cartridge on, or the weird thing that you put on top that we talked about. Like I have.
Well, go
those-
get them.
I
Sell them shits.
there's some things that are worth more than money.
Dude, that's staying away from your family.
Go sell those and buy a desk light.
I have a light. It's this awesome little LED strip. Look at
There
it.
you go. There you go.
Oh man. So A Link to the Past was released for the Super NES on November 21st of 1991. It returned to the top-down view under a three-quarter perspective, and added the concept of an alternate dimension, the Dark World. Later, a downloadable version of Link to the Past and an exclusive modified version called BS Zelda Densetsu Inishi no Sekiban.
Bless you.
That's a Japanese version, I'm assuming, were released on the Satellaview in Japan in 1997. A Link to the Past was re-released for the Game Boy Advance in 2002. And okay, first of all, before I go further, Davey, did you have that?
Of course. Dude. I mean, we're talking Zelda here.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
The SNES version was later re-released on the Wii Virtual Console, on the Wii U Virtual Console, and on Nintendo Switch Online.
Not the Wii.
As we discussed earlier, he's not a fan of the Wii.
No.
Nor the Wii U.
Oh, no.
No Wii U, no.
So between 1989 and 1992, 3 Zelda-themed LCD games were created. The Zelda version of Nintendo's Game & Watch series was released first in August of 1989 as a dual-screen handheld electronic game. Did you have this, Davey?
No. Here's the thing. I didn't have that. Okay, listen. I was for so long against Game Boy, mobile, and whatever came with that thing, right? So there's a lot of Zelda games that came from the Nintendo, the Game Boy, NDS, whatever they call it. Any portable Nintendo device with Zelda, I skipped those just because of the fact that there was
I'm so
weird.
sad. I played every single one, and they were amazing. A
I
Link
know
to the
they
Past,
are.
the Four Swords. I mean, just it was.
Hey, here's the thing. I did not
These
play
guys are
them
both
myself.
super nerds.
Hold on, my brother, my little brother, he had all these games and consoles. So I did not play them, but I always sat next to him and watched him play because I could not handle the thing on my hands. I needed a controller, man, not the whole thing in my hands. So I watched my brother play all those games.
That's the
I
name of
know
your
about
sex
them.
tape.
What? So I mean, I know the games, all of them, except I did not play the the mobiles ones. I just can't Nintendo.
See, I didn't have any of these, so this is all completely new to me. Like, I remember the original one, and that's all I knew from that. So,
So many good
There's so
games.
many of them, yeah.
so it was re-released in 1998 as a Toymax Inc. mini classic and was later included as an unlockable extra in Game & Watch Gallery 4, a 2002 compilation for the Game Boy Advance. The subsequent 2 LCD games were developed by third parties and under license by Nintendo. In October of 1989, The Legend of Zelda was developed by Nelsonic as a part of its Game Watch Online. In 89? That's... What the hell? What? This game was an actual digital watch with primitive gameplay based on the original Legend of Zelda.
I remember this.
Like, so it's a watch that was like...
Yes. When somebody at my school had it. Hold on, I'll bring up the picture.
Get out of here.
Yeah, this was before I
I
was born.
forgot
so,
about it.
sorry.
And you're talking about like late 80s, early 90s, dude. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember a kid in school had it, and we used to all on the bus, we'd sit there and watch him play it. Or this is not the screen. Hold on.
Sorry for all the having some technical
There it is.
difficulties.
Here we go. See it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like one of them Tiger LCD
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Like you couldn't really do a lot, but I remember seeing this.
That was pretty cool, though. Look at that. It has Zelda in it.
Dude,
Good lord.
$150. You can buy one.
Davey's gonna buy that shit tomorrow. You know that. He's gonna buy that tomorrow.
Look, condition runs and keeps time.
Well, I guess
That'll
that's
sell it.
I mean, what do you need? You know, it's a watch.
That's true.
So in 1992, Epoch Company developed Zelda into Densetsu Kamigami no Triforce for its barcode Battler 2 console, and the game employed card scanning technology similar to the later released Nintendo e-reader. Okay, so like Nintendo's ahead of the freaking game with this right now. Okay. So Link's Awakening is the first Zelda for a handheld and the first set outside
So good.
Hyrule, is that right? Hyrule. And to exclude Princess Zelda. It was released for Nintendo's Game Boy. Link's Awakening was re-released in full color as a launch game for the Game Boy Color in 1998 as Link's Awakening DX. If you guys can't see me, I'm doing the suck it sign for DX. If nobody X okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm moving. This remaster features additions such as an extra color-based dungeon and a Photoshop that allows interaction with the Game Boy printer. Oh, so you could actually print off stuff? I'm asking. I have no idea. I'm assuming somebody here has this.
That is true, yes. And it was awesome, and I loved every second of it.
I'm trying to see what this e-reader is. I've never seen this before.
Seriously?
Yeah, like what does it do?
It reads things electronically.
You can't be serious.
Is that what it does?
I'm trying to see. Like it's very vague on the internet.
It is vague.
Logan, you get a crunchy taco.
I had one, but I was so young, didn't know how to use it. I broke it the first time I tried it. So,
the e-reader is an all-new device that lets you scan games right into your Game Boy Advance, trade game cards with your friends, or take them anywhere. So you could trade games with this thing.
Cards and stuff.
I'm still tripping on the fact that you can print off stuff from this thing.
I know, right?
Like you could literally print
dude, it was like 4-bit. Like it was horrible.
But what are you printing?
I've never even heard of that thing.
Well, I mean, it's like the freaking the Game Boy picture and printer thing or whatever. Like you just connect to it and it just prints off a small little picture or writing text, whatever you wanted. It was just like a portable printer that
Here, I'll show you.
Never got any.
Do you remember?
But I guess
John,
why?
you remember the old calculators with the paper feed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this looks like.
It's
Shut
legit what it
up!
was.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I had that with the actual the light that goes over it as well too. Yeah, that.
Oh my
yeah.
It
god!
prints a little. It prints a little stamp.
Oh my god.
That's all it did. Yeah.
What do you need that for? What
Look at this thing.
When you were playing the game, you could print off certain things like dungeon layouts and stuff like that, so you could memorize how to get through them better. So it was used for the game.
Oh, okay. I could see that being useful.
Memorize
Okay.
layouts, so you could go back through.
All right.
Oh, okay, this is the picture that I saw. Like Pokemon had an instance of that as well too in Silver and Gold. I think is where those came in. That was when the Game Boy Color came out. And there were pictures of certain pictographs of Pokemon that you had to sort and put around or whatever, and you could print off a picture of it so you could do it in real time and be like, oh,
hold up. Let's be real. What were you really printing out on your Game Boy printer?
Carmen Electra.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Wait, could you do that?
No, I was kidding.
Oh, man, I missed the ship on that. Holy crap! What?
I could see your mom. She's all mad because you're like, we're out of paper and ink again. Just sitting there all day printing rolls. Yeah.
And why are your socks sticky? Stop it. Oh my god. All right, so this remaster feature, of course, like I said, you could print off stuff. So Link's Awakening DX was released on the 3DS Virtual Console on June 7th of 2011. An HD remake of Link's Awakening was released for the Nintendo Switch in 2019.
What?
Yeah, I played that. It's good.
Yeah. In early 1990s.
And it's cool. It's got that tilt shift view. You know, the tilt shift kind of view and graphics. That's what it's got, and it's really cool.
He's buying that as well.
Yeah, he's looking it up right now.
Maybe.
In the early 1990s, a series of video games was developed and released on CDI after Philips and Nintendo failed to develop a CD-ROM peripheral for the Super NES. The games are Link, The Faces of Evil, and Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon, along with Zelda's Adventure. So do you guys, apparently those were games that were supposed to exist and never did?
They're not in my list.
No, they did. The CDI one did because it made a lot of memes. Hold on, I'm trying to find one.
Well, it says that Nintendo never acknowledged them in the Zelda timeline, and they were considered to be in a separate self-contained canon. So they're not a part of the normal timeline.
No, that's like Star Wars, the sequels versus the prequels and the current stuff.
This is Zelda CDI, by the way. Actual gameplay.
Oh my lord! I remember.
Oh my
this.
god,
dude, it was horrible.
Okay.
That's Ganon.
Wait. Hold on. Davey totally loves it. Stop it. Davey, you love it, don't you?
Where's Link? There's Link.
He's like, hey guys.
Go ahead, Davey. You love it. You say it.
You, sir, are destroying my childhood.
Doesn't it look like a 3-year-old drew this in a coloring book?
It's
and then
so
they just
bad.
like, this is
It's
a
so
game.
bad.
Oh my god!
Look at me.
What
I got a
is
gem.
So bad.
Oh, that's Zelda.
wait, what?
Ooh, hey.
Wait, you guys you're ruining Davey's entire life right now. Stop it.
Dude.
Okay. And listeners, you could check that out if you go to YouTube and type in Zelda CDI. It's really creepy.
Yeah,
and
just
weird.
or follow us
Oh my
and
God.
subscribe. That's it. Davey, you okay? You okay, buddy?
I'll get better.
Dude, gonna have
After I
nightmares, that's
erased
nice.
those images from my brain.
Just
it.
keep up, dude. Just
I
keep up.
hate you, Jeff.
So needless to say, it didn't work out, right? The CDI version was a flop, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it does say these games are widely acknowledged to be the worst installments in the series, though
wonder
they
why.
have since gained a cult following in the form of internet memes, which Jeff just showed us. It's pretty bad.
Yes.
So after a 5-year hiatus, the series made the transition to 3D with Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, released in November of 1998. Is it Ocarina or Ocarina?
Ocarina. of
Ocarina.
Time. That's a bit.
Hey, Ocarina. No? No? Okay.
Cool.
So this game initially known as...
Cool. I mean, he's got a point. Anybody young listeners can be like, what are they? No, it's in Fortnite. It's in Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the Macarena
That is a
Fortnite.
timeless song
They know
about a woman whose boyfriend is going off to war and she's banging his 2 friends.
Hey, macaroni.
That's exactly what that song's about. Anyway, so apparently this was initially known as Zelda 64. And it retains the core gameplay of the previous 2D games and was successful commercially and critically. It is considered by many critics and gamers to be the best video game of all time.
Yeah.
Woo!
It is.
Ranking highly on IGN and EGM's greatest games of all times lists, as well as scoring perfect scores in several video game publications. In February of 2006, it was ranked by Nintendo Power, which used to be a really cool thing, as
Nintendo
the
Power.
best game released for Nintendo console. So I mean, those are big accolades, man.
Hands down, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's big.
Before I forget, John, remind me at the end of the show, I have a big surprise for you.
For me or for the listeners?
Mainly for you, but it's for everybody. It's a game that they just announced that's going to be coming out, and I got some footage of it.
Is it I Have Another Kid, or I mean, is that
No,
okay.
no. That's not a game.
Pump and dump simulator.
Right.
All right. I will. But someone please remind me because it's going to drive me crazy if I forget. So the game was originally developed for the poorly selling Japanese-only 64DD, which I didn't know was another console, but was converted to a cartridge format when the 64DD, it's 64 double D, which is pretty amazing. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's my favorite console.
It was delayed. So a new gameplay
wow, okay.
mechanic, lock-on targeting, is used in the game, which focuses the camera on a nearby target and alters the player's actions relative to the target. Okay? So in other words, you're playing it and you can actual target stuff. Such mechanics allow precise sword fighting in a 3D space. And the game heavily uses context-sensitive button play, which enabled the player to control various actions with Link using only one button on the Nintendo 64's controller. Each action was handled slightly differently, but all used the A button to perform. So you got to be on that A button. So I'm assuming, Davey, you know all about this, right?
Dude, that thing came out in Japan. I'm in Mexico.
It's like
I've never
that's the
heard of
same
this
thing,
one.
right? You guys are close, right? You guys are close to each other.
Yeah, kind of.
I have a question.
I'm kidding, listeners. They're not close at all.
Was your Zelda? I knew you learned English from it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they have any games or cartridges back then that were actually in Spanish?
No.
They didn't.
No, actually, it was really late when they actually started doing the voice actors in Spanish and other languages. But I remember that all the games, maybe up to PlayStation 2, they all were in English. All of them. Yeah. I mean, now you can download games and maybe get Spanish, like the voices and text and all that. Now,
Yeah.
But before, no, it was all English. That's why I had to learn.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
No, you would be. We just wouldn't be able to understand anything you said.
Taco, señorita, quesadilla.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the game featured the first appearance of Link's horse, Epona.
Epona.
All right. Allowing Link to travel quickly across land and fire arrows from horseback. Those who pre-ordered the game received a gold-colored cartridge in a limited edition box with a golden plastic card affixed, reading, quote, collector's edition. Ooh. In some stores that had this collector's edition, they, of course, sold out really fastly. And a small and rare Zelda pin was actually given instead. You can actually get there's a rare pin of this floating around out there right now. It is the sword.
Expensive.
It's the sword and shield emblem with Zelda written on it. And
I have like 4 of those,
dude,
It's not.
no, they're saying like it is so rare that only a couple of them only remain now.
No, you know what's so rare is going to Pokemon 2000 in theaters and getting the Mew freaking the holographic 3D print card that only 100 people got. All right, and my mom threw it away.
Oh man.
Dude, it's worth so much freaking money, dude. You don't even understand.
Well, it's in the garbage somewhere.
Back in there for a second. No, somebody
You okay?
was going through
You
my
okay?
trash one day, saw that, and was like,
You okay?
money.
Oh, poor guy. That super sucks. Especially, dude. Listen, I had so many like Transformers and GI Joes and stuff like that that were worth a ton of money, and my mother was just like, yeet, and they were gone. Yeah. That's kind of what happens. Yeah. So,
Mothers can't live without
Ocarina of Time was re-released on the GameCube in 2002 when it was offered as a pre-order incentive for the Wind Waker in the U.S., Canada, and Japan. It includes the canceled 64 Double D expansion for Ocarina of Time, known as Ura Zelda, during development. Yeah. So that actually like transcended over, and they were like, just give it to them. That's fine. Named Ocarina of Time Master Quest, the game was given reorganized dungeon layouts for greater difficulty. Europe continued to receive this 2-game bonus disc free in every copy of The Wind Waker, except for the discounted Player's Choice version. Ocarina of Time was available through the Wii's Virtual Console service. Nintendo re-released it for the Wii U Virtual Console in July of 2015. And Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS, featuring remade graphics and a stereoscopic 3D. It was released in mid-June of 2011, and Ocarina of Time has been made available on the higher tier of Nintendo Switch Online in HD resolution. And I have to somehow believe that that's one of your favorite games.
It is. It is. I'm just listening here, and I'm like, oh my God.
There was no like geeking out. He was just like, yes. It is. That's my game. Yes. Yes.
See, me like it. Me like Zelda.
So in April of 2000, Majora's Mask was Wow. Okay, so that one has some bearing here. It was released as a follow-up to Ocarina of Time, and the game uses the same 3D engine as its predecessor, but introduces a time-based concept where the protagonist, what's his name?
Link.
There it is.
Your mom.
I don't think that'd be your grandmother. That's your grandmother. Quit it. Relives 3 days as many times as needed to complete objectives. So originally titled Zelda Gaiden, which, by the way, does anyone remember Ninja Gaiden?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they have so many of those.
Was one of my the original was one of my all-time favorite games.
Great game.
Oh my god, I love that game.
Do you want me to bring it up and play it right now? I can share it.
You're so happy you have that now, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're so stoked. So the game features new gameplay mechanics such as the ability to use mask to transform into creatures with unique abilities. So Majora's Mask has a darker and more tragic tone than the Ocarina of Time, dealing with death and impending doom as the moon descends upon the land of Termina.
So is this like a direct sequel of Ocarina of Time?
Apparently.
Or no?
No, it just came out right after.
With the same graphics, basically, but
Yeah.
same engine and everything. But
But it was
different
so
story.
good. It was so
It was really good.
So
Every time you put a new mask on, you get new abilities.
Dude,
That
my
so
favorite
good.
was the what were they called? The rolling one, the big dudes.
Oh, the song guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so
That was really
cool.
Did you say the sound guys?
Stone guys.
There were
Stone
I don't know
guys.
how they were
Boulder
called.
guys.
They were big boulders, but yeah,
Yeah,
there was
big
that, and then
boulders.
there was
Well, most sound guys I've ever met were pretty much like that too. So
yeah.
I'm just
But like the cool thing about Ocarina it was Majora's Mask, where each boss was in its own element kingdom. You had to go through like the lava temple and the water temple and all that stuff, and you got masks that went with it. And every time you put the mask on, you got those powers and were able to do that stuff. Like the water temple was cool. You literally turned into somebody from like Atlantis. Like it was dope.
So, question then: when you played Majora's Mask, when you had the weapon and you hit an enemy, if you hit him 3 times, did your weapon break?
No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because that would be a stupid idea in a Zelda game, right? Wouldn't that be a dumb idea for a Zelda game? Your weapon breaks after 3 hits. Wouldn't that be stupid?
that's a
Can we all
bad
agree that would be
idea.
dumb?
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, it is a bad idea. Why would they do that?
That never happened.
Jeff is saying that because he couldn't get into Breath of the Wild because all their weapons and stuff will break, right? Which is dumb. I get that. And honestly, I agree with you because you know the shield, right? The iconic shield for Zelda. If you had that, it could break, which never happened before, but it did happen on Breath of the Wild. It broke for me.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Dark Souls?
No, because I knew I would hate it.
Oh, because they have durability in that too. And if you hit a wall instead
know.
of the person, your weapon's broke.
I know. That's
So Jeff
stupid.
doesn't like stuff breaking.
So all copies of the Majora's Mask, okay, they were gold cartridges again, okay, with a limited collector's edition lenticular cartridge label that was available as a pre-order incentive. Okay, so if you got it early, you got the gold one. The game was made available on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, as well as the Nintendo Switch Online catalog. Catalog? That's a weird way to say that.
All right.
That's a fancy way to say catalog.
Well,
like your catalogs. You got them, mate.
You like your catalog there. Look at me, I'm talking about Zelda. It's great, isn't it? So
Weapon breaks after 3 hits.
the weapons,
new one.
they're fucking shite, they are. 3 times and they break on you. I don't like it. So The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D was released for 3DS in 2015. Okay. And I'm sure Davey's probably owned every single one of these. So Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages were released simultaneously in 2001 for the Game Boy Color. These games interact using passwords or a game link cable. After completing one game, the player receives a password that follows them to play the other game as a sequel. What?
Really?
That is insane.
I've never heard of that. That is nuts.
Developed by Flagship in conjunction with Nintendo, the games were supervised by Miyamoto, the guy we talked about in the very beginning. Originally intended as a trilogy called the Triforce series, The concept was reduced to 2 games as Miyamoto's suggestion due to difficulties with the password system. He was like, yeah, this is stupid. We got to stop. So Oracle of Ages is more puzzle-based, while Oracle of Seasons is more action-oriented. Both games were later re-released on the 3DS Virtual Console and Nintendo Switch Online. Davey, you got to talk about these, man. What is this?
Hold on. Do you guys not see how Pokemon has poisoned Nintendo?
Hey, calm down. All right.
let's look at this.
Hey, they're all Nintendo.
Logically, right? Okay, so Pokemon's like, here's Pokemon Sword and Shield. Here's Pokemon Violet and Purple. Here's Pokemon Ice and Fire.
Okay,
so the Zelda guy's like, oh, you know what we need? We need a sequel. We need two games that are the exact same. Just name them different, put different art, and we'll make $1 million.
They're not just because the art's different. You get different Pokemon, you get different people, you get different stuff.
Triggered.
Let me ask you this. Can you get the same Pokemon in Pokemon Violet and Purple?
No,
they're not in the same game.
No, because Purple doesn't exist, but Scarlet and Violet do.
Oh, okay. Well,
those games.
Pokemon Turquoise. Can you get a Snorlax in Pokemon Turquoise and Pokemon Fuchsia?
There were regional Pokemon in every one of those games, so you can only get it depending on that.
Hold on. Is there an actual being called a Snorlax?
A Snorlax?
Snorlax.
He's a big dude who sleeps all day long. That's all he does.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, y'all.
I know, right? Okay, I just want to say, I think that Pokemon has poisoned Nintendo. I just want to say that.
This came out before Pokemon did anything with it, all right? So shut up. If anything, Zelda poisoned Pokemon.
I got an idea. Let's make a Pokemon game and give them guns.
Triggered.
Y'all just jealous.
Oh, man. I'm not a part of this conversation. I'm just reading stuff is all I'm doing. So, of course, it's a popular franchise that everybody knows about with, Zelda here. And it features a character named
Link.
Right. On a quest to rescue who? Princess
Zelda.
Right.
Zelda.
And save the land of
Hyrule.
There it is. In 2002, the Game Boy Advance version of A Link to Past introduced a new game called Four Swords, which was the first.
I played that one. That was
Four
good.
Swords was amazing, dude. Especially on the GameCube. Oh,
it was the first multiplayer game in the series. It introduced a new character called.
I don't know.
Red, blue. All I know is there was red, blue, green. And,
he was so emphatic about it not knowing that. It was Toon Link.
Yeah, Toon Link.
There it is.
Oh, man.
So Four Swords Anniversary Edition was released in 2011 as a free DSiWare available until February of 2012. So when Nintendo revealed the GameCube in 2000, a software demonstration showed a duel between Ganondorf and Link, leading fans in the media to speculate it might be from a new Zelda game. At Space World 2001, Nintendo showed a cell-shaped Zelda game, later released as the Wind Waker in 2002.
Yeah, that's the Toon Link.
That was a really
That was the cartoony one, right? Where he's like a little kid and you're on the sail ship.
Yeah,
right?
That's the one.
It's so good, though. The story behind it was amazing.
So is it like in the timeline or the story of all the Zeldas? Is this like the prequel, like he's a little kid, or what?
Well, no, Young Link, the prequels. It's okay. So all the Zelda games don't really follow a timeline. Okay, they're different universes.
Oh, so they're like Marvel movies. You just keep flushing the toilet.
Whoa. You just trying to trigger everybody tonight?
Smoke some more fucking weed,
Yeah,
dude.
you trying to trigger everyone right now? All right, is that what we're doing? All right.
You're just going
saying,
for throats.
The last handful of Marvel movies.
Pump your brakes.
Come on.
Pump your brakes.
What was the last good Marvel movie?
Everyone ever.
What was the last good Assassin's Creed game? Assassin's Creed 3? Black Flag?
Bro.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Pew, pew, pew.
Valhalla was really good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was really good, and it sold a lot of copies.
But that wasn't an Assassin's Creed
just saying.
game. That was a knockoff God of War game. But anyways, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Don't.
Do I hear a new episode here?
It's called the new thing is called Shots Fired by Jeff. Is what it is. So what was the question?
Oh, man. I have no idea.
So did you guys play those? I guess what I have to say.
You're talking
We
about
were asking about a timeline. I was asking
Yeah,
about
timeline.
because
Yeah.
I know he's like a little kid in
Four
the one you're
Swords,
talking
right?
about,
So
Wind Waker, right?
There is no direct lineage timeline. Everything has its own universe. Everything kind of does its own thing, but the characters kind of stay the same. So like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that's more of a direct sequel, but it's not really a sequel because it's just more of an expansion, I guess.
You can say that.
I guess there's really not much story that's on a linear.
So they're just kind of dropping new games out of nowhere.
Well, the best way I could describe it is like, for example, Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
There's how many games of that? Each
Oh,
game
yeah,
has
a lot.
its own story, characters,
okay.
universe. The thing with Zelda, it's almost the same, except you always have Link and Zelda and all the main characters, basically Ganondorf.
Yeah.
But it's always like a new story, new objectives and whatnot.
Exactly.
But they're all good. And the one you were calling, John, the Four Swords, I like that because it was the first co-op. Except for me, it made no sense because there's only one Link, and then in that game you could play like 4 different Links. So for
Yeah,
me,
that's
it was-
weird. Yeah, that's weird for
It
sure.
was weird
Yeah.
for me.
The game was weird. I played with my cousin, who's also just as big of a fan, I would say, as Davey. But it was a weird game because it was like one of the very first co-op handheld games you could play.
Yeah.
But like there really was no story behind it. It was just
It was more
just-
of a test.
it was more puzzle game. That's all it really was. It was just what can you do with 4 people and
Yeah, that's kind of what they were saying with this, is that it just really didn't follow suit with everything else
But
that came before it. It was kind of its own entity,
Yeah.
but it did bring in the co-op, which I guess is kind of cool if you want to play with your friends or whatever, because before it was just you and, Link kind of hanging
Yeah.
out and doing shit,
And
I mean,
again,
it was-
Isn't that kind of what
it was-
that?
what-
Isn't that what that Hyrule Warriors is kind of like though too? Same thing.
that was more fighting though. That wasn't really so much puzzles, I thought, right?
Yeah, it's more action based. But here's the thing with all these games, like I said before. I mean, most of them came on Game Boy or portable consoles, which I didn't like. So all these games, I watched them, but never basically played them myself, except for the Four Swords. But then again, I played for a couple hours and I was like, nah, not for me. They're hurting my Zelda game.
And this is from like the Zelda guy here, so that's why we keep making sure that Davey is like on point with this. But it sounds like Logan's like right behind him with this whole thing too, which is great.
Yeah, which is good because Logan has like more experience on that because you play more of these portable games, right?
Yeah, I played more of the handheld games. I didn't
Yeah,
really have a lot of
and
console experience.
I did not. I play all the consoles, but not the portable ones, basically.
Well, when Nintendo revealed the GameCube in 2000, or the year 2000, the millennium there,
Favorite game came out on
a software demonstration showed a duel between, again, of course, they were talking about this whole thing right here. And the game received pretty poor reception at first. And nothing further was known until a playable demonstration was ready. And Miyamoto believed that the Wind Waker would extend Zelda's reach to all ages. Okay, and this is the game you're talking about?
Well, basically, no, but basically, what Wind Waker did that most people hated, and Jeff mentioned it, it was the cartoonish graphics, which looked like water paint.
Okay, so
it was different.
And if I'm
It was
wrong
amazing.
here, it says the gameplay focuses on controlling wind with a Wind Waker baton and sailing a small boat around an island-filled ocean, retaining similar gameplay mechanics as the previous 3D games in the series.
So this is what it looked like.
So you basically were controlling the wind. When did that have anything to do with any of the previous games?
So the Wind Waker is different. So hold on. Okay. Hold
I
on.
love how
Hold on.
defensive
Hold on.
people
Hold
get
on.
about games. I love it. I love it so much.
This is my childhood. All right. So
No, I love it. I love it, dude. Yeah, like for real. Like
with Assassin's Creed,
Teach me.
implemented the what was it? Black Flag, where it was So Assassin's Creed was all about fighting. It was trying to be sneaky, trying to kill people, all that cool stuff, right? And all of a sudden, they implemented this pirate-esque thing to it called Black Flag, where you went around on a big old pirate ship and you pillage the 7 seas. Well, Zelda implemented a similar course on a handheld, very kids-like game where you could control a ship and do things on a ship and travel from island to island instead of being on one big island.
Jeff,
It was a leap in
is that the
technology
gameplay in front of you right now? You're playing or you're showing right now? Is that is
that's the Wind Waker.
Yeah, that's Wind Waker.
That
Wind
is-
Waker was so
Look.
good.
horrendous?
What do you
And
mean?
that's why many people did not
Right.
like the game. But it was
This game
it
came out in
played
2007. That is ridiculous. Okay.
You make a better game, all right?
Okay,
First of all-
I could at that standpoint. Look at that thing.
First of all, hold up. Assassin's Creed, the reason why they went to Black Flag is because you time traveled in Assassin's Creed. If you would have played the damn game, you would have known that.
But they implemented the boat. That's what I'm saying. They implemented.
Why would you not have a boat in a pirate game?
That's what I'm saying. This was like the Pirate Zelda game. You had a boat and you could travel.
not only travel, but the really catchy part of that is you could sail away and you could have this crane in your boat and you will fish up chests from underneath the water.
Yeah, there was a whole mechanic with the boat where you actually had to do like little mini games on it and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's a kid's game. What do you expect?
Regardless
all right? We're not
of
killing
what,
people.
regardless of what the playability would be, the graphics on that
It's pretty bad.
are ridiculous.
No. The design style
From
is
2007,
ridiculous.
you said?
The design style is ridiculous.
See,
The
there's an image
graphics
for this
were
fish right there.
amazing.
Okay,
This game ran
Logan,
45 frames
Logan,
per second, dude.
How old were you in 2007?
12?
Okay, what other games are you playing in 2007?
Grand Theft Auto.
Gran Turismo
Okay,
The photo. I
Okay.
think so.
and Pokemon.
okay. So
and
does
Metroid
that
Prime.
look even remotely like the other games you just talked about?
Yes, actually.
No, not even a little bit.
Pokemon? Yeah, kind of.
That looks like you were making a game and had a stroke, is what you were
There
doing.
was, for like Zelda game though, like it was such a vibrant color. There was so many like random.
What? It's
animations on it.
2D. First of all, it's like
It's
that
not,
is
it's three-dimensional.
What three? How? What's the third dimension? Stupid? Like that
Listen.
doesn't. Like where?
I'm gonna be Joe Rogan on here. Someone pull this up.
Yeah.
Can you put some video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
put some gameplay.
It's
on.
queued up right now. You can see it right now.
No. Put up gameplay. Put up
Like
gameplay.
video.
That is bad, dude.
Let me get some gameplay.
That is bad. That looks like Hanna-Barbera made that game. Okay.
Yeah, see, you see the 3D animation right here with the BMW. It's the same. It's the exact same.
It's a freaking like Volvo commercial.
It's YouTube ads.
Oh my god.
Ah!
All right, hold on.
Okay, we're gonna actually see some
Dude,
like.
yeah.
Okay.
So look at this. Look at the beautiful 3D animation. Look at the fight sequences.
Oh, really? Is that what that is?
It's a Japanese-based game, so you get this like
I would expect better. Better is
Kuokai
all I'm saying.
animation.
Yeah, that's.
Like look at this. Look at the animation. Look at how beautiful the
The
world
background's great, but the initial like that is horrible. That is
Like
that
when
is
you- when you're
2D.
sailing the seven seas, you get two little streams of water that look like you're making a ripple effect. Like look at the big octopus starfish thing.
Look at his like. It's cool
There's so much
because
animation,
It
dude.
looks like you're playing a cartoon, so I get the appeal to that.
So if
Yeah.
that was the
but how do you
appeal,
go from the older games to this?
Yeah.
Is the problem.
So
no,
go
look
from
at that,
this-
dude. That is like beginner based freaking like gen graphics there. That is
Hold on.
that's horrible.
But you have to understand the lineage of Zelda games. So you went from all that like really like higher end stuff they wanted to, kind of a keen to more of a younger audience, whatever. And then they went from that to the next game you're going to talk about called the Twilight Princess. And that is the darkest, edgiest game that Zelda has ever come out with.
Regardless,
I loved it.
The lighting in this game right here doesn't even match up. Like this is
fucking
not. This is not good. It's not good.
Let me just say this though. You go to play that game, I guarantee you'd rage quit. That game was so stupid.
I would. I'm gonna rage not start because it's horrible.
You played Rocket League. Shut up.
I listen. I did it for you. I did it for you. All right, so moving on past that part. So there were all kinds of. There was the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition released for the GameCube in 2003. It included the Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and a demo of The Wind Waker. Four Swords Adventure was released on the GameCube in early 2004 in Japan and in America, and that was in January of 2005, and in Europe. So the game is based on the handheld Four Swords and has 24 levels and a map screen with no connecting overworld. For multiplayer features, each player must use a Game Boy Advance system linked to the GameCube via a Nintendo GameCube Game Boy Advance link cable.
Yeah.
What?
So you can
Extra
connect your
money.
Game Boy, so you can connect your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube, and whatever you had on there, save file wise, game wise, you can transport it over. So there was this awesome game on GameCube called Pokemon Coliseum. You could take Game Boy Advance Pokemon games and certain Pokemon that you were only able to get in that, you're able to transfer it over to the GameCube. So your Pokemon Coliseum game had that Pokemon because you couldn't get it in the actual game world because there's different generations of Pokemon. Same thing with Zelda.
Cash grab, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What do you think video games are?
No, I get it. I get it for sure. No, that it is, but that's like, oh boy. So the game features a single player campaign in which using a Game Boy Advance is optional. Four Swords Adventures includes 2 gameplay modes, the Hyrulean Adventure with a plot and gameplay similar to the Zelda games, and a Shadow Battle in which multiple links played by multiple players battle each other. And that's what Davey was talking about earlier, where you have multiple links.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah.
You had 4 different ones. You had red, blue, green, and yellow.
Yeah, that's weird.
That was the difference.
There's one link, right, Davey? There's one link. There's one
Yeah,
link.
thanks,
name is
Pokemon.
Zelda.
Thanks, Pokemon, for ruining Zelda. That's great.
It was before.
Logan's head's gonna go. He's just gonna be done. Just done.
So by 2 weeks, guys. All right.
So November 2004 in Japan and Europe, and January of 2005 in America, Nintendo released the Minish Cap for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I forgot about that.
In the
That's when you
Minish
played it in
Cap.
Finland, right? Oh, you said Minish? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're not finished. Yeah, not finished. In the Minish Cap, Link can shrink in size using a mystical sentient hat, named Ezio. What is happening with these games?
No, it's Ezio.
Sure, that's what it is. While shrunk, he can see previously explored parts of dungeons from a different perspective and enter areas through otherwise impassable openings. The game was later released on the Wii U Virtual Console. So he had a hat now.
And this was the DS style gameplay. And just so everyone's clear, this is a Pokemon thing. Where it
Oh, is it?
like
I'm
that.
shocked. Wait. I'm shocked. Let me get a second to compose myself. I'm really shocked about this. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
boy.
Pretty much every Pokemon game kind of looked like that. So that kind of is what happened with there. But it introduced replayability to a Zelda Enterprise because there's a thing like with Dark Souls and a lot of newer games called New Game Plus, where you kind of keep the same character, but the more you progress, the more things open up. So you can go back and redo the things that you did earlier where you missed certain things that you could only do because you advance farther in the game. And Minish Cap offered that replayability, so you go back to certain dungeons and temples and stuff to find certain items that you needed to go way further on to be able to come
That's
back
like
to
a
that.
true Vault Hunter on Borderlands 3.
Exactly, yeah.
You go back and play the game over again, and it's harder, and then you
Yep.
get all
But you
the
keep, but you keep
crazy
all your
weapons.
stuff.
But you
From
keep
the
all your
other.
stuff, and you're looking for new stuff while keeping all your stuff. Like Dark Souls has that, Elden Ring, all that stuff. Like it's like a variant of New Game Plus, but it was a key component where in Minish Cap you had to advance further to be able to go back to find things in order to progress through the game. Where in like New Game Plus you beat the game and then go back through and it's harder and you find new things because it's harder. The Minish Cap was like you had to do it in order to go back.
I think it's amazing that you actually, so you get a game and you can play it multiple times. Like
Swear to
you're
God, I'm gonna
doing
throw this.
you're doing it over and over again. What? No, I'm what?
He's being real.
Yeah.
He's not being sarcastic.
he was being sarcastic.
No, I'm
What the fuck is the point of a video game? You just play
But if
it
he
more than
was-
once.
If he was being sarcastic, that would have been so gold right there. I mean, that was the best.
I'm
bomb
being
to drop ever.
serious. Like if you play a game and then all of a
Dude, it's
sudden
pretty cool to play a game again.
That's what I got from that. I was like,
no, why would no? I'm saying like there's nothing worse than playing a game that you're super hyped up about and then you beat it and it's just done. It's done. It's over with. It's cashed out. But if you can go back and you can keep doing things over and over again, well then well, not only did you get your money's worth, but you've also got your appetite. Your teeth are sank into this game now. You know,
Right.
So that's super cool to me. I like that. That's awesome.
Now that you mention that, there's a game that I do want you to check out, and any listeners, if you're interested in something like that, you should check it out too. It's called Sifu, and it's a fighting game. It's like a kung fu fighting game, and you go through. It's kind of difficult, but every time you die, you age, and eventually you become like, if you die so many times, you're like an 80-year-old samurai, and you keep having to go through.
That sounds
at a different
amazing
age.
to me.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's pretty cool.
It's called Sifu. Spell it.
Sifu, Sifu. I'll show you.
F you, buddy.
Yeah.
SIFU. Okay. I had to check that
But
out.
it's cool because every time you die, you age. So like, see how like here he's like super old. Here he's even older. He's young here. So every time you go through,
And is it an RPG?
You
or?
age. No, it's a fighting game.
So like
So it's like
you have opponents
an
in
action. It's like an action fighting game, I guess is the best way
this?
to
Like tier
describe it.
based or?
No, it's not like Mortal Kombat. It's like I don't know. Help me out, Logan. You played this, right? Or seen
Yeah,
it?
it's basically you're going through like a story mode, and then it's kind of like the campaign version of Mortal Kombat, where you're just going through a story mode. You're fighting, and then if you died, you advance through the timeline a little bit more, but go back through and redo it over again. But you're older this time instead of doing it where you're
That's
the same
crazy.
age.
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
love
cool.
that. I
You're
love that.
reborn. You're reborn every time you die, but you're older when you're reborn.
God, every time we do an episode, my bank account goes down further because I have to buy more fucking games. Every time. Son of a bitch. Okay.
Amazing, dude.
All right. So anyway, so in November 2006, Twilight Princess was released as the first Zelda game on the Wii, and later in December as the last Nintendo published game for the GameCube, the console for which it was originally developed. You were saying something? Go ahead.
I was just saying that it's one of those games where it introduces werewolves and day and night transformations and stuff like that.
And it's the first Zelda game in a while that actually looks like a real game.
It's amazing. But this is Teen Zelda, and you play with I can't remember her freaking name, the little demon thing that's behind them.
Midka. Oh,
Yes,
Midka.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Midda.
Yeah, she's freaking hilarious. in this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Well, the Wii version of the game features motion controls and a reversed world where everything that is in the west on the GameCube is on the east in the Wii, which is crazy. The display is mirrored to make Link right-handed, which feels more natural for the majority of players using the Wii remote. The game follows the story of a young adult Link as he confronts the troubles of the Twilight Realm, a mysterious force that appears around and interacts with Hyrule. When he enters this realm, he is transformed into a wolf and loses the ability to use his sword, shield, or other items, but gains other abilities such as a sharpened sense, from his new form. The game also includes an incarnation of Link's horse, Epona, for fast transportation, and features mounted battle scenarios, including boss battles that were not seen in previous games. In contrast,
Is anybody else thinking that Miyamoto found mushrooms in that cave? Just
possibly.
Just throwing that out there.
Possibly.
Just throwing that out there.
Who knows? Japanese
don't know.
mushrooms. I like them.
Yeah.
Shiitake.
However, I
He
did not know.
definitely
However, that
found an old guy that said, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." He's like, good idea. Yeah.
but I did not know that Twilight Princess had regional copies. That's pretty cool.
That's crazy, right?
That's insane, especially because Pokemon had regional copies too.
Shocker, right?
Oh, did it? Did it?
Shut up, Jeff.
I know. I kid.
So in
I like
contrast to Wind Waker's cell shading, Twilight Princess features graphics with more detailed textures, giving the game a darker atmosphere. Twilight Princess HD was released for Wii U in 2016.
I haven't played that.
So at the 2006 Game Developers Conference, a new title called Phantom Hourglass for the Nintendo DS was revealed.
That
The
was
game
not as
features... It wasn't good?
It was not as good.
Oh.
It was good. Just was not as good.
Well, the game
It's just
features...
like the Wind Waker.
It was exactly the
cartoony.
Wind Waker. But it was DS, so it was fine. Shut up. Move along.
No, that's okay. I just want to show this artwork real quick.
Oh, let me see. Please, let me... Oh,
Look at this.
God!
But the freaking it It was on a DS.
That is ridiculous.
That was the peak of animation on a handheld device, dude.
If
all
that,
right?
you should
sure
have
this
taken that
wasn't
thing and
like-
thrown it away. Is what you should have done.
You sure this wasn't like an art school contest where like a 3-year-old submitted it and they're like, yes, you win, and they put it in the game?
Young kids. And the Phantom Hourglass, you were legit on a boat the entire time. Like there was rarely any instance where you're on land.
Well, the game features traditional top-down Zelda gameplay optimized for the DS's features with a cel-shaded 3D graphical style similar to the Wind Waker for GameCube. Phantom Hourglass is a direct sequel to the Wind Waker. It was released in June of 2007 for Japan and in October for North America and Europe. It was later released on the Wii U Virtual Console. The next,
I will say this.
Uh-oh.
I will say this. This image shows, okay, for the DS, you had the map on the top screen and the game on the bottom. That is cool.
Oh, it's
Like
not-
being able to
it's
have your map open like that, that's pretty
That's
cool. That's about the only cool thing that game has.
Probably.
So the next Legend of Zelda game for the DS was called what?
I don't play portable.
I don't know.
I'm all over Logan for this one. What is it?
Sorry, what was the question? I'm getting all that.
The next Legend of Zelda game for the DS after
Phantom Hourglass?
yeah was
I know. But
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. What is it?
Davey?
It's Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks, yes.
Oh yeah, Spirit Tracks. That's a train one, dude. That was amazing. Same
not play that.
art style. The same art style.
Oh,
Same-
boy.
Same art style.
It was released in December of 2009. In this game, the Spirit Tracks railroads, which chain an ancient evil, are disappearing from Hyrule. Zelda and Link go to the Spirit Tower, the ethereal point of convergence for the tracks, to find out why. But villains steal Zelda's body for the resurrection of the Demon King. Oh,
cool. That scene was so cool.
John, can I show you some artwork?
yeah.
It's the same artwork, all right?
Oh, it's so good. That's great.
You didn't play the game. Zelda was your ghost. She followed over your back the whole time and guided you on what to do. And
Well,
there were so many quips. It was amazing.
Apparently, she was disembodied at this point.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was your ghost.
Right? And only Link and a certain few sages can actually see the disembodied Zelda.
Dude, the story was so good.
So together they go on a quest to restore the Spirit Tracks, defeat the Demon King, and return Zelda to her body. Using a modified engine of that used in Phantom Hourglass. The notably new feature in this game is that the Phantom Guardians seen in Phantom Hourglass are, through a series of events, periodically controllable. Oh, so you can actually control them.
Dude, there were so many cool elements other than driving around in a train where you fought bosses with. But you could control the automatons that were in there and like use them to get around. Like it was more of another puzzle game, but it also had a lot of action elements to it as well too. But the puzzle-esque was like using the guardians to kind of like either block a path or to fight something in front of you or to just turn them one direction so you can sneak behind them. Like it was
I'm just gonna
I
say,
actually have some gameplay here, and it looks pretty sweet.
again on
that looks better than the other one did, though. For sure, it does.
it's the same art. Fuck.
I like the motion blur. The motion blur is like a really good. It makes you feel like you're going fast,
Listen,
right?
you're still looking at the freaking desk behind you on my screen. I can't
Listen,
see what you're seeing.
I am going to say that this episode would not be quite as entertaining if Logan was not here during this. So thank you so much for
Right.
being here,
Definitely, yes.
because that gameplay sucks. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Let me say this before we continue. I'm really glad Logan is here because I mean I consider myself a huge Zelda fan, but I didn't play most of the
I've played almost every game.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Is like I thought I was a fan user.
You know what though? I mean, he's got a point. Look how fun this looks. Like you roll a ball. Look at this. Like this looks really fun and challenging too.
So is
Like
going in Odyssey and fighting
you
someone
gotta-
who's higher level than you. You
You
can't
got to roll a ball to the bushes. That's pretty good.
Oh God!
What do you expect?
Well, this was the first time in the series for Zelda that both Link and Zelda worked together on the quest. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Okay, so Spirit Tracks was later released on the Wii U Virtual Console. A new Zelda game for Wii was in development since the end of 2000s, or the end of the 2000s. The new title was revealed at E3, which we discussed was...
Electronic something
Essential Elephants.
It's not Essential Elephants. In 2010 as Skyward Sword.
So good.
But its release was delayed until 2011. The
You
game,
wouldn't like the game element, though. It's
which is the earliest in the Legend of Zelda timeline. So it's a prequel? Is that what this is?
Kind
Okay. Well, it reveals the origins of Hyrule, Ganon, and many elements featured in previous games.
This looks way better than the other ones, though. It actually looks like Link.
Yeah, Skyward Sword was more of the prequel to the lore. So it gave more elements to the lore of Zelda, not so much the prequel to Link. Link will end for always.
What is with this picture? Is this in the game?
He's yes.
This is in the game?
Yes.
What? Okay, for those that are just subscribe to our YouTube channel because this is that. What is that?
Can you explain what's going on there?
Explain the lore behind that.
Is that a Skarsgård back there? Like, what do we
have? You have to play in order to find out.
It's super weird.
What happened was someone dropped some fresh tacos, and he didn't realize they were Link's tacos. So that's what
interesting.
Happened. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Interesting.
Odd, very odd.
Yeah. Skyward Sword was amazing, though.
So it also uses Wii's Motion Plus feature. Okay, it was released in on November 20th of 2011, and the first run included a 25th anniversary CD of fully orchestrated music from various Zelda games, including Skyward Sword. That sounds amazing to get.
That is cool.
Like, that sounds super fun.
The music for it is awesome.
So it was made available for download on Wii U in September of 2016. And The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD with optional button-only controls was released for Nintendo Switch in 2021.
What? I'm like missing out on all the freaking remakes.
You're going to go broke tonight, is what you're going to do. So in 2013, Nintendo launched a Link Between Worlds for the Nintendo 3DS, which was a sequel to A Link to the Past.
It was good. It was good.
The game offers more open-ended progression than previous titles, with the possibility of completing many of the game's dungeons in any order. Certain dungeon obstacles require the use of rented or purchased items. Okay. Triforce Heroes, a cooperative multiplayer game released for the 3DS in October of 2015, features the same Link as A Link Between Worlds, but lacks an open world gameplay. So it's the same game, but without the open world gameplay.
Well, no, yes and no. It's the same design as the game, but it's basically a reboot of the Four Swords again. I'm trying to bring more cooperation more cooperation into it, but again, they bring in co-op, but it's puzzles, not co-op and open world. No one really does that, unfortunately.
So. Wait, explain that again. I'm sorry.
So the game, it's the same gameplay as A Link to Two Worlds or A Link to the Past. It's the same like design style, but they're just rebooting the Four Swords, where you have just the four same links, whatever, where you guys are doing puzzles and stuff like that. There's not much open worldness to it. It's just puzzles and little mini games the whole time. So like you see here, the Triforce Heroes, you still get the green, red, and blue. You just lost the yellow guy because no one liked the yellow guy. So that's why it's Triforce Heroes, and it's the three heroes.
That is insane. Links, how in depth is that shit? Like, that is insane.
You need to play the games to find out.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of, this is already going to be even bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I think we're going to leave off right here. Okay. And our next episode is going to be the rest of the Zelda world, because we have a lot to talk about still.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There is a lot
of Zelda games.
We're only in like 2013 at this time, and a lot of big things happen.
Yeah.
So
big things.
We're going to say that this is going to be episode 1 of our Zelda take. Which I love, because you know what? When you're diving into games like this, and we're going to talk about so many different games or whatever, the fact that you can actually encapsulate things in one episode, that game's not as good as you think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
just wait until Elden Ring and FromSoft.
Oh yeah, wait until we go into Call of Duty and all these different games. Like, we have so many different games we're going to just dive into. and we're going to go in depth on these things.
Yeah,
so
But we're not going to do Assassin's Creed because that's garbage, right? So we'll skip that one. We'll skip the trash.
Black Flag. Up until Black Flag. After that, it would,
I actually enjoyed the first one I played.
Dude, Assassin's Creed 3 was the pinnacle of perfection when it came to a game. After that, it was not that great.
What was 3?
That was the Revolutionary War.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was
Dude,
cool.
dude, the opening trailer for that when he's going from the freaking one side of the field to the other and he's just killing cannonballs
Yeah,
everywhere.
that was cool. That was cool.
Is that the one where they based the movie off of because of that?
Maybe. No.
No, I think the movie's based off the
No.
first one, off of Ezio.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe it's off the very, very first.
The Italy.
No, the lore behind Assassin's Creed's pretty cool, but after
That's
a certain amount of
Magneto
games-
that played that guy, right?
Yes.
Fassbender
Michael
or whatever his name is.
Fassbender.
Fassbender.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender, yeah.
Yeah.
Such a weird last name, Fassbender.
Yeah, so was Cumberbatch.
Oh. All right, so listen. Yes, my brain hurts. Everyone else's brain hurts right now. We've been talking about Zelda, but it's so intriguing, especially from where it came from, how it started, and so on and so forth. We want you guys to tell us what you think about the Zelda games. What games did you play? The games we mentioned, did you even know about half the ones that were like released other places? Like, well, especially Japan. Did you have those? Did you have all these games? Are you as infatuated as Logan and Davey are? Do you think that artwork deserves the accolades that Logan does? Regardless, let us know. Tell us in the comments. Tell us wherever you listen. Let us know if you're into the Zelda games. And if not, tell us what games you're into. And then we'll talk about those, right?
If you say Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I might slap somebody.
No, listen. Since we don't have
We'll dive into
news-
Assassin's Creed for sure.
Since we don't have
we
the
should.
news
It's
today,
amazing.
do you want your surprise here live on the show, or do you want to wait till
Yeah.
we're done?
No,
do
I
it
want
now.
the surprise now.
But wait,
Okay.
I can't see what it is, so you have to tell me.
I'm going to show you.
Okay,
This is
cool.
a visual. Hopefully it'll work.
This better be good.
There's a
dude.
new game coming out.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah, I was mentioning that.
What?
That's
It's
coming back out with
three.
a reboot.
It's
Yeah.
a 3-7 horror game where you go in with 3 of your buddies versus 7 other people online, and you have to kill everybody as
It's
the
open
clown.
world?
No. It's like imagine
like Dead by
Fortnite.
Daylight.
It's like a battle royale, like you go by
Yeah.
rounds and matches, but it's Killer Clowns. All right, now check this out.
On what platform?
all of them.
Everything,
Yeah,
everything.
Shut
PC,
the
PlayStation,
fuck
everything.
up.
it's a lot like Dead by Daylight, except you're playing Killer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, hopefully it's not. Is it freezing for you guys?
Well, it's rendering, but yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Come
They got
on, come
pizza?
on. Come on.
Oh yeah, Davey, have you ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh my god, dude, they did such a good
yeah,
job with the
yeah.
clowns. Like,
Okay, because
It's a normal
let me
movie,
get
right?
to the gameplay.
it's a movie, yeah, and this is
Yeah.
an amazing game that's going to be coming out.
All right.
Dude, look at that.
So you could be the little clown, you could be all the different clowns. You have to kill each other. Like all the clowns have to kill the humans, and the humans have to try and survive. It's 3 versus 7.
It's just like Dead by Daylight, except you're playing as clowns
Right.
versus people. Like it's
But it's like
just-
the original. It's like from the movie. Like it's
but
the
it's
actual
the
clowns.
original stuff.
I am stoked. Stoked. When that comes
Yeah,
out, I will be playing that religiously for
Well, It
sure.
was supposed to have already come out already, I thought. Did
It got
they,
delayed.
It did.
It should be out soon. Yeah, I think it's like
Oh
in
my
a couple
God, look
months.
at that.
Who's the
'Cause you can pre-order it.
who's making that?
I'm afraid of clowns.
Does it say?
Just it's not Ubisoft. Just say that.
If it's Ubisoft, we're not getting it.
Soft.
It doesn't say, does it?
No.
Let's see.
We'll look it up. Does it
Well,
say it?
we'll lead that till next week, and we'll let everyone know when Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game comes out. 'cause
But I thought you would love that.
Absolutely.
I thought you would like that.
I love that movie so much. It's stupid. That and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes are like my favorite movies. So
I know who is the developer of the game, and none of you know who it is, so we'll just leave it as a mystery.
I guarantee I know who Hulk Hogan is, dude. All right,
I don't
just
think you know what you think you know.
I know Hulk Hogan makes that game. Anyway, so thank you so much for listening to our shenanigans as we discuss Zelda today, which is we did this because it's Davey's favorite game
Logan's,
series.
and Logan's.
And then Logan apparently loves it just as much, if not more.
Dude. I'm surprised, dude. Logan, sir, hats off.
Yeah, you guys are awesome for listening. Please do us a favor. Like, subscribe, follow us wherever you can. Spread the word. Let everyone know that it's not just about the gaming. It's about the camaraderie and the friendship and just learning to just, hang out and relax for a little bit. That's what we do here. And hopefully make you giggle from time to time, especially when we talk about dumb stuff. That's what we do. And also, do us a favor, wherever you're listening, give us a 5-star review. That would be really cool and helps us move up the ranks out there. Okay? Until next time, remember to join our Battle Pass, our Discord, our socials, and just remember that, old gamers like myself and Davey, well, we have feelings too. All right.
We have feelings too.
Thank you so much for listening. You guys are freaking fantastic, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Goodbye.
See ya. Game over.
So I was looking at Killer Clowns from Outer Space and my Steam website, and it said I would like this game because it's similar to Elden Ring. What? I would like
Sure.
how that game is similar to Elden Ring.
It's probably challenging. Is it on Steam? I'm looking at it right now.
It comes out June 4th.
Oh, there you go. It's only a $40 game.
Have a good night,
Yeah,
guys.
It's not going to be expensive.